everyone, it's Stephanie, and you are tuned into the very first video of Ask Stephanie. So before we get started, don't forget to click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be the first to find out when I post these videos. All right, last year, towards the end of last year, I kept getting a lot of questions, which I often do. And so I figured I can't get to all of them, but it would be great to do a new segment called Ask Stephanie, where you guys can email your questions and then I can respond via video. And that's kind of like this new thing I'm doing for the new year. In the description box, I will put the email where you guys can email me your questions and then I'll read them and give you these weekly videos. But the first question that I'm starting with is actually about therapy. So I thought, what better way to start this video than to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. So BetterHelp is everywhere nowadays, you guys. For the people who don't know, I'll tell you a little bit. BetterHelp is an amazing online platform with over 20,000 licensed professionals worldwide. Nowadays, mental health is at the top of everyone's mind. It's something that we're moving away from in terms of having a negative stigma. People are talking about it. People are sharing their experiences. People are sharing resources. And so BetterHelp is an amazing resource that I'm going to share with you all. What I love about it, it's fast, it's convenient. It takes place on your phone. You can choose whether you want to do video sessions or whether you're more comfortable doing phone sessions. You're able to log in securely in your portal and message your therapist at any point. Once you get started, which is the form of a short questionnaire, you are assessed. Your needs are matched with a licensed professional and you can start talking within 48 hours. I think the thing that I love the most about it is that you can switch therapists if you find that someone isn't a good fit. And that's really important. Therapy is a really important relationship. And so if you feel that, hey, your vibe is not really with this person, you don't have to commit to them. It's not marriage. BetterHelp is aware of that and they put your needs first. So if you say, I want to switch a therapist, you switch a therapist at no cost. Speaking of costs, because that's something that I get a lot, therapy can be expensive depending on who you're going to, what your needs are. There are low cost options. They provide financial aid. And if you use my link, you can get 10% off of your first month of BetterHelp. So what are you guys waiting for? I think you should just jump in. For a lot of people who ask me where they should go or what they should do, BetterHelp is an amazing platform for you to try and see if it works for you. So don't forget to try BetterHelp. That's betterhelp.com and see how it goes for you. But I think it's a great option. All right. So moving on to the first question, I'm only going to say the name. I have a question from Bree. All right, so I'm going to read you guys off my screen and then I'll come back. So the question is, hi Stephanie, hi Bree. I started seriously going to therapy with the first therapist I saw right before the pandemic. Periodically since then, I go back and forth with myself that maybe my current therapist isn't a good fit for me. I wish I had shopped around a bit more. So my question is, as a therapist, what are the signs you see that maybe a client isn't a good fit for you? What are some of the signs as the client I should see or note? Also, what milestones do you use to gauge the therapy's impact and progression? Finally, how would you suggest I approach the subject with my therapist? So this is a wonderful question. I love this. I get this all the time. Here's the thing. Therapy should be one of your most transparent and comfortable relationships. So that to me is the primary thing that you should be looking for. When you find your therapist, you know they're qualified. So it's not about that. You can meet a lot of great therapists, but they might not be the great one for you. Ideally, the way that you should feel is, I can't wait to go talk to my therapist. Or every time I talk to my therapist, I feel so much better. It is more of an emotional dance. Forget the logistics about what they can do and what they've done, because it really doesn't matter. It is about how your interaction with them makes you feel and if you are experiencing progress based on that experience. because I've met a lot of great therapists who would not necessarily work for a lot of people. So one of the questions, Bree, that you're asking is, what should I note as a client? Some of the obvious things would be if they're not engaged, if they're distracted, if they are telling you to do particular things, or forcing ideas on you. Those are like obvious, very red flags. But there is kind of like a dance that you get in with someone where it's easy, it's seamless. I can't wait to talk to my therapist next week, or I felt so much better after talking to my therapist. The fact that you are saying you wish you would have shopped around a little bit more, you're not really feeling it, that in and of itself is telling you that that's not the right person for you. And it doesn't mean that they're not great, they just might not be great for you. As a therapist, you compose a treatment plan. And one of the initial things that you do in your initial meeting is, just like you are seeing, hey, let me check this person out, let me see if they're a good fit, they should be seeing if you're a good fit as well, and getting to know you and being honest about if they can provide what you're looking for. You can only control what you can control. So they might say, yeah, sure, come on in, I'll sign you up, I'm great. And if you're not feeling, and it's a feeling thing, I want you guys to get out of the thought, because there's a lot of people who say, what should I look for? At the end of the day, you can find a therapist that is composed with everything that you need, but when you sit and meet with them, it isn't comfortable. The way that I like to approach sessions myself is, it should be a conversation, just an easy conversation. Not that the topics are easy, but the flow should be easy. There should be connectedness. There should be a feeling of being heard. There should be a feeling of, you know what? I'm glad that I got that out, or that person was able to help me see a perspective, or able to help me come to a conclusion. They are there to support you in this process and provide you with perspectives that you can't see because you're in it. They can see around it. That's the beauty of the third party. So, or like an outside party. So that is what I would say. Your last question is, how would I suggest I approach the subject with my therapist? I would say don't explain too much, because there isn't, we have this tendency, especially if we don't want to hurt the other person's feeling, or we overanalyze that, hey, I don't want to, almost like a breakup. You don't want to break up. It's me, it's not you. This is their job. If your needs are not being met, you can simply say, you know what, I think I've made as much progress as I can here. I want to thank you for your help, and you can move on. We have a tendency to want to over-explain, but at the end of the day, it is a professional relationship. And if you feel that you need to go somewhere else, then do that, because at the end of the day, it is investment in yourself. You don't have to over-explain. I'm just gonna keep saying that because that's our natural tendency. Don't over-explain. Thank them for the work that they've done with you, and find somebody else who better suits your needs. And that is trying another therapist. A lot of people kind of want to avoid the starting and stopping, and it can be, tiresome in terms of, giving someone your story and starting that whole dance again. But when you find someone that sticks, it'll be worth it. So that is what I would say. I would say that thank them for their time, thank them for their work, and then go back to the drawing board in terms of finding someone else and making sure that they are a place of peace, a place of comfort, even if they challenge you, even if they offer new ideas. It doesn't always have to be like so easy or so great. However, it's something that you find valuable and you look forward to. The back and forth should not be happening. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you, Bree, for your question. Next week, you guys, I'm gonna come with another question. Please email info@iamsuccessfullyme.com. I'm gonna put it in the description box if you have any questions, and then I can answer them on the next Ask Stephanie. All right, everyone, have a wonderful day.